Hello guys, welcome to this video. This one is paper 2211012 October November 2020 paper, same as the 0478. So let's start. Question number 1. Tina is creating a website for charity events. She uses HTML to create the website. State what is meant by HTML. So for this HTML or any what is meant by, you can also write the full abbreviation for it. So it's it's simple as that. So you can write that it is hyper text markup language. Okay, or you could also write that it is it's fine, like it is hypertext markup language which is used when writing and developing web pages, but even this is okay. But you know that it's used when writing and developing web pages. Okay, then it says that part B, she uses the hexadecimal color code for hashtag 43B7F0 as the background color for her website. State whether the background color is an example of structure or presentation in the website. Okay, so structure is the essential part of the document, such as the HTML tags and stuff, the layout of the document, but the presentation is basically the style of the document. Okay, so how the document will look, so basically colors are for the style of the document, right? So that's why it is presentation. Okay. Now next question, next part, the hexadecimal color code. This code is given for 43BF is stored in 3-bit registers. So you have to now give the 8-bit binary values for each part of the hexadecimal code. This is the first part, this is the second part, and this is the fourth part, right? So now firstly, whenever we are doing binary values, we have to always put up the place values separately for each block of data. 1248 and 1248, sorry, 8 would be here, 1248, and then again 1248, then again 1248. Fine. Now do it separately. Like if you need to be very careful about left hand side and right hand side. The number which is on the right hand side will come at the right hand side of this binary value. So this binary value 3 would be this one, okay, and this 4 would represent this would be represented by this binary code, right? So let's do it. For 3, if you add 2 plus 1, this will give a value of 3, and all the others would be 0. And then for 4, you have a value of 4, so you'll just put it 1, because we usually regard the 1 values only, and then the others would be 0, 0. Then 7, how could we make 7? We have to make a combination. So 4, we cannot regard 8, so we'll just put a 0 over here, and then 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, so it would be equal to 7. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. Okay, then B7. So whenever this these letters come, always at the side you can write A, 10, 11. These are the hex values. Okay, so for 10, 11, 12, 13, there's from 0 to 16, right? So 0 to 15, sorry, because it is a base 16 number. It will be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And from A you would start writing A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So now I've written, and it is pretty simple for me that B is 11. So I would simply make a number which is equal to 11. So 8, 9, 10, and then 1, 11. So here I have made my value of 11. Now for 0, everything is going to be 0. Fine. And then for F is what? 15. So 8 plus 4 is 12, 13, 14, and then 15. If you add up these place values, it would give you the number 15, which is equal to this number. So these are the hex values binary values which we obtain. Now part C says Tina uses a microphone to record a welcome message for her website. Now you have to state whether microphone is an input or an output device. It is a fact that microphone is an input device, right? Then part 2 says she wants to compress the recording. Okay, she's going to compress the recording to make sure that the file is as small as possible for the website. Identify which type of compression she should use and describe how this would compress the file for the website. Okay, let's see. This was a welcome message, right? She is recording a microphone. She's using a microphone to record a welcome message, right? Okay, great. Now she is compressing this recording, right? So now which type of compression she should use, right? So you can always use lossy compression, because it's nothing such as, what do we say, something that's very, like, that's very an important data. Okay, maybe it's because we use lossless, probably when there is sensitive data that needs that does not need to be, you know, lost, or because in lossless, you know, once a file is compressed, it can be retrieved once again because it is lossless. But in lossy, once file is compressed, it cannot be you know, uncompressed again or retrieved again. The original file cannot be retrieved back. That's why here we're not dealing with any sensitive data or any data, you know, which needs to be retrieved back. So you can always use lossy compression then. Okay, lossy compression. You don't need the file once it is you know, compressed. You don't need the original file. Lossy compression, sorry, lossy compression. Okay, so now what you have to describe that, identify which type of compression she should use and describe how this would compress the file for the website. So we have identified the you know, compression. This is a 4-mark question, so it gives you 1 mark over here, and then you have to apply the description. So you always, in such type of question, you always gain a point for writing compression algorithm is used. Okay, because always a compression algorithm is used, so you always get a mark for this. Okay, I'm not writing it in points, you have to write in complete paragraph form. So compression algorithm is used, and then you know, how does the compression work? It removes the unnecessary data, right? It removes unnecessary data from the file. Okay, and that data is permanently removed because lossy. So you cannot, you know, use the compressed file. You cannot retrieve it back to the original file. And it so you may write the 3 points as well over here, that compression algorithm is used, and then you can write that unnecessary data is removed. Compression algorithm is used, unnecessary data is removed, okay, from the file. Okay, data is permanently removed. So compression algorithm is used, unnecessary data is removed from the file, and data is permanently removed. So these are the 3 points, and 1 mark is for the compression identified. Then part 3 says that give 2 benefits of compressing the file for the website. Okay, when you are you know, compressing this file, so it would take less storage, right? It would takes up less storage, because obviously the file size is reduced then, right, after compression. And benefit 2 would be when the file size is you know, reduced, so it's like quicker to upload, right? Quicker to upload, or even you know, quicker for the users to download, right? Quicker to upload. Then part D of this question, this one is question number 1, so the part D continues. Tina will use the TLS protocol, Transport Layer Security Protocol, in her website when selling tickets to people for different charity events. Okay. Now, this makes sure that her personal data is transmitted securely, because yes, TSL protocol is used. So now you have to identify two layers that are present in the TLS protocol. So basically the two layers present in the TSL protocol are handshake layer and the record layer. So this is a fact. The handshake layer and the record layer. Okay, then part D2 says that explain how data is sent. Now it is asking about the process, right? How data is sent securely using the TSL protocol. It's a 6-mark question, so you need to be very careful of providing 6 valid points. Okay, so it's the same, the process is the same as the mentioned in your SSL protocol. How data is sent securely using the SSL protocol. It's in your book of IGCSE Computer Science. So this process for TLS is the same. So you have to list it. I'm writing it in points, so it's quite easy to understand. Okay. So you need to have 6 points. So you can write that browser, the web browser requests secure connection to the web server. Right, all the certification process, we're going to write it over here, that first of all browser requests secure connection to the web server. Okay, and that's why the browser requests that the server to identify itself, and then let me write it, to identify itself, okay, for security purposes, and then the server responds by sending the digital certificate. Server response. Now you won't write SSL certificate here because you're talking about TSL protocol, TLS protocol, so you can simply write that server response by providing a digital certificate, and then for part 4 you're gonna write that browser authenticates the certificate. Okay, and when authenticated, right, so browser sends signal back to the server to begin transmission. Okay, browser sends signals back to the server to begin transmission after the certificate is valid. Okay, it is authentic. Certificate is found valid and authentic. Okay, so it sends signals back to the server to begin transmission after the certificate is found and it is authentic, right? And then obviously the two-way encrypted data transmission begins. Okay, so then the two-way encrypted, it's important to write that data is encrypted. Okay, encrypted data transmission begins. Okay, the two-way encrypted data transmission begins. So here you have the 6 points which are pretty fair enough to give you 6 whole marks. Okay, this is the same question number 1, and part E continues. Tina is concerned about security threats to her web server. Okay, fine. you have to identify 3 security threats to her web server. It's not about her, but her web server. So you have to be really careful, right? That what about web server can be. So it could be malware, it could be even spyware, it could be even hacking. So you can write about these 3 probably. Hacking, because hacking is always an option. Hacking, malware, and spyware. Web server is on the internet, right? So it could be a security threat for the web server, because these are the security threats you often encounter, right? And then it says that Tina installs a proxy server to help protect her website from security threat, such as denial of service attack probably. So Tina installs a proxy server. Okay, now you have to describe that how the proxy server will help protect the website. Okay, how the proxy server will help to protect the website. So firstly, the proxy server, it acts like a firewall. You need to know the fact. Okay, so it hides the IP address of the user. Okay, so let's write first that it acts like a firewall, so it monitors all incoming and outgoing traffic, incoming and outgoing traffic. It acts like a firewall, so it monitors incoming and outgoing traffic, and it hides the IP address of the user, because it enables, how it does that, it enables a secure and encrypted connection between the user and the web server by hiding the IP address of the user, right? Address of the user. This is an important feature of the proxy server, that it acts like a firewall, so it monitors incoming and outgoing traffic. It enables secure and encrypted connection between the user and web server by hiding the IP address of the user. And then you could also write about the fact that it hence stops the website falling in a denial of service attack, right? Hence it stops the website from falling in a denial of service attack, which is this DOS. Okay, so 4 points are enough. Okay, so fine then. DOS attack, because in denial of service attack, numerous requests are sent to the web server at the same time, and obviously the server times out, because it can only process a set number of requests. So when numerous requests are sent down, it times out, and the user's legitimate request is unanswered. So when proxy server is sitting in between, it can obviously stop the website from falling in a denial of service attack. Then question number 2. 4 7-bit binary values are transmitted from one computer to another. Okay, a parity bit was added to each binary value, creating 8-bit binary values. All the binary values have been transmitted correctly. Okay, that's an important feature to know. And then tick to show whether an even or an odd parity has been used for each binary value. Okay, so whenever such types of questions are given, you have to count the number of ones and then check if they are even or odd. This is primary school mathematics, that you should know that the even numbers are what and odd numbers are what. It's basically 2, 4, 6, 8, something like that, and odd is basically 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, fair enough. Now let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-bit binary value. So it's clear that 8 ones means it is even. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, it is also even. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is also even, and this is 1, so it is obviously an odd number. Okay. Fine. Now question number 2, part B. It says that the data will also be checked using a checksum. Okay. Describe how a checksum can be used to check that data has been transmitted correctly. So a checksum is one of the error detection method, and it is basically used to check that whether data has been transmitted correctly or not. So now you have to tell that how. Okay, you have to explain this fact, that how a checksum can be used to check that data has been transmitted correctly. So let's see. You have to provide 5 valid points. So firstly, you can write that a checksum is calculated using an algorithm. You need to know, because in our book we have an algorithm like in blocks. The steps for calculating a checksum is given, and that basically is an algorithm. So you can write that a checksum is calculated using an algorithm on the block of data to be transmitted. Okay, so when the data, this is the block of data and it is ready to be transmitted, but we first are calculating the checksum using this algorithm given. So this is the first step, and then this checksum which is calculated, right? Checksum is then joined along the data, joined or sent along the data. So now when it is ready to be encrypted, this circle is a checksum, and it is joined along the data. Okay, and then at the receiving end, when it is sent, right? So at the receiving end, the checksum is again recalculated, right? And the checksum of data received, right? This checksum of data is recalculated, and then it is compared, right, to the previous checksum that is sent. If these values are not same, then obviously an error has occurred. So let's write it that at the receiving end, and checksum of data is recalculated. The two checksums are compared, okay, to see if they match, okay, to see if they match. Okay, if they match, then data has been transmitted correctly. Okay, if they do not match, okay, or they're different match, then an error has occurred during data transmission. So these are the 5 points. If it did not match, then an error has occurred during data transmission. So the comparison process takes place over here. Okay, now question number 3. Alessandro has some important data stored on his computer. He is concerned about accidental damage to his data. Identify 3 ways. Now part A1 says that you have to identify 3 ways that the data could be accidentally damaged. So it's pretty simple that it could be hardware or a software fault, maybe hardware fault, hardware fault, or it could be a software fault maybe, or you could write that power loss before saving the file. Okay, power loss before saving the file. Maybe you were working on a file and the light went off. There was you didn't have a UPS and the light went off and it was power cut, so the file wasn't saved and it was lost. So that's why you should frequently save the file while creating a document. So it's like power loss before saving the file could lead to an accidental deletion of data. Okay, then you can also write that accidentally deleted data could be accidentally deleted. Okay, while deleting of other files, maybe you were selecting files to delete and you suddenly selected a file that was deleted. That's why there should be the verification methods that are you sure you are going to you want to delete this file. So it would be a good option. Accidentally deleted while deleting other files. And then part 2 says state what Alessandro could do to make sure that he can retrieve his data if it is accidentally damaged. He can simply use make use of backups. Make use of backups. Okay, part B. Alessandro uses an SSD to store his data. Now you have to describe what is meant by an SSD and how it operates to store data. So whenever it's asking about what is meant by an SSD or what is meant by a short form is given, right? So you can just write the full form, the abbreviation. So you can write that it is solid state drive. Okay, solid state drive, which is a secondary storage device. Okay, it is solid state drive, which is a secondary storage device. So you have given two things, that it is a solid state drive and it is a secondary storage device. Now you have answered the first part, that wasn't meant by an SSD. And now how it operates to store data. So it stores data by flashing it onto the chips. Okay, so it's a fact that it stores data by flashing it onto these chips. Okay, the chips are present within the SSD. Okay, and then data is stored by controlling the flow of electrons through these chips. Okay, so you can write that data is stored by controlling the flow of electrons through chips. Okay, so this is something you need to know, that it stores data by flashing it onto the chips, and data is stored by controlling the flow of electrons through these chips. Because okay, so now part C, it says that Alessandro also uses offline storage to store his data. 3 examples of offline storage are Blu-ray, CD, and DVD. Okay, fine. Now 6 statements are given about offline storage. Fine. Then tick to show if each statement applies to Blu-ray, CD, or DVD. And some statements apply to more than one example of offline storage. Okay, this is important to read the instructions, right? So then a type of optical storage, these are all. Okay, Blu-ray. Okay, these are all optical storage. Okay, offline storage are basically a type of optical storage. Has the largest storage capacity. It's Blu-ray. It can be dual layer. CD is not dual layer. It can't be dual layer, so you can, Blu-ray can be, and DVD is also a dual layer technology. Fine. So then red, using a red laser, that's this DVD, right? Sorry, CD. Okay, and DVD is also red, using a red laser. Okay, then it says that has the smallest storage capacity. This is CD. Stores data in a spiral track. This is DCD, and also Blu-ray, because Blu-ray is also like that, and DVD also. So all three store data in a spiral track. I hope it's clear. Now question number